You're lying in bed at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, and you finally admit the truth you've been running from for years. You're not stuck because you lack talent. You're stuck because you're scared. And that fear has convinced you that you're less than you are. This is what happened to a 38-year-old man who wasted 12 years of his life in the same dead-end job, watching people half his age blow past him, until one random morning in a coffee shop, a stranger told him something that shattered everything he believed about himself. And what I am about to show you will prove that the only thing standing between you and the life you want isn't money, isn't connections, isn't luck. It's the voice in your head. And once you learn to control that voice, everything changes. Not in water, in mediocrity. At 38 years old, he had everything that was supposed to make him feel successful. Steady paycheck, middle management title, 12 years at the same tech company in a busy American city, decent benefits. But every single morning, he'd drive the same route, park in the same spot, sit at the same desk, and feel like he was suffocating. He'd watch guys 10 years younger with their shiny MBA degrees get promoted past him. He'd see people with half his experience quit and launch their own companies. And every time, he'd feel this sharp pain in his chest, because Marcus had dreams too. Hidden in his desk drawer was a notebook filled with business ideas. Plans for a consulting firm, strategies he'd developed over a decade of experience. Ideas that could actually work. Ideas that could change everything. But every single time he thought about doing something, that voice would start. You're not ready. You don't have enough money. What if you fail? Who do you think you are? Stay where it's safe. And Marcus would listen. Year after year, he listened. His wife Jennifer would ask him, "Why don't you go for that director position?" And Marcus would say, "I don't think I'm qualified. They want someone with an MBA. Someone younger, someone more, I don't know, dynamic." And Jennifer would look at him with that mixture of love and frustration and say, "You've been saying that for 5 years. When are you going to believe in yourself?" Marcus had no answer. What he didn't realize was that his thoughts had become his prison. Every "I can't," every "I'm not," every "what if I fail" was another brick in the wall keeping him trapped. His thinking was small. So his life stayed small. Then one Thursday afternoon, everything exploded. The CEO called an all-hands meeting. "I'm excited to announce our new Director of Operations, Daniel Chen." Marcus felt like he'd been punched in the stomach. Daniel was 29 years old. He joined the company 3 years ago, fresh out of Stanford, with an MBA and fancy data analytics skills Marcus didn't have. Marcus had trained him, shown him the ropes. And now Daniel was his boss. After the meeting, Marcus sat alone in his office, hands shaking, staring at nothing. Something inside him was cracking open. He pulled out that hidden notebook and started reading. Business plans that could have worked. Ideas that were actually good. Strategies companies would pay serious money for. And he asked himself the question he'd been avoiding for 12 years. Why am I still here? The answer hit him like a freight train. That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. At 2 in the morning, lying in bed staring at the ceiling, he admitted something he'd never said out loud. "I've been lying to myself. I'm not unqualified. I'm not unready. I'm just scared. And I've let that fear convince me I'm less than I am." The next morning, instead of going straight to work, Marcus did something unusual. He drove to a coffee shop he'd passed 1,000 times but never entered. Behind the counter was this older guy, maybe in his 60s, making coffee with the kind of precision that told you he'd mastered his craft. Marcus ordered and sat down. As the man brought the coffee to his table, Marcus noticed a small plaque on the wall. "Harrison and Associates, business consulting firm, founded 1998. "You own a consulting firm?" Marcus asked. The man smiled. "I did. Sold it 5 years ago. Now I run this coffee shop because I enjoy it. I'm Robert Harrison." Something in Marcus broke open. "Can I ask you something? How did you go from working for someone else to building your own company?" Robert studied him for a long moment. "You're stuck, aren't you?" Marcus couldn't even speak. He just nodded. Come back tomorrow morning, same time. You don't even know me. Robert's eyes softened. 20 years ago, I was you. Stuck in middle management, full of dreams and weak thoughts. A stranger challenged me to change my thinking. It saved my life. Now I do the same for people who are ready. The next morning, Marcus showed up at 6 a.m. Robert was already there with 2 coffees waiting. Tell me, Robert began, what stops you from going after what you really want? Marcus exhaled. I think about all the reasons it won't work. I'm not young enough, not connected enough, not confident enough. I think about failing, losing money, looking stupid. Robert nodded slowly. And those thoughts, do they make you take action or avoid it? Avoid, Marcus admitted. Exactly. Robert grabbed a napkin and drew 2 trees. See these trees? They started as identical seeds. Same soil, same sun, same water. But look at the difference. One tree was massive, strong, deep roots. The other was small, barely standing. What's the difference? Marcus asked. The roots, Robert said. The small tree has shallow roots because it was afraid to go deep. It thought, what if I hit rocks? What if it's too hard? What if I fail? So it stayed shallow, safe. And because its roots were weak, the tree stayed weak. Robert pointed to the strong tree. This tree thought differently. It pushed through rocks. It went deep even when it was hard. And because its roots were strong, everything above ground became strong. He looked Marcus dead in the eyes. Your thoughts are your roots. Weak thoughts create weak roots. Weak roots create weak results. Strong thoughts create strong roots. And strong roots create strong lives. Here's what I learned after building 3 companies. Your external reality is always a mirror of your internal thinking. Always, he wrote on the napkin. Weak thinking, I can't, I'm not ready, what if I fail, people like me don't do this. Result, hesitation, inaction, same life. Strong thinking, I can learn, I'll start and improve, what if I succeed? I'm exactly who needs to do this. Result, decision, action, new life. Marcus, for the next 90 days, I want you to do something radical. I want you to stop and replace it with a strong thought. Then take one small action based on that strong thought. If you think I can't afford to start a business, replace it with I can start small and build. Robert leaned in close. Your life won't change because of one big decision. It will change because you retrain your mind to think like the person you want to become. 90 days. Every thought, are you willing? Marcus felt something shift deep inside him. Yes, I'll do it. Good. Come back in 90 days and show me what you've built. Not in the world, but in your mind. The next morning, Marcus started. The first week was brutal. Not because of the action, but because of the awareness. Marcus had no idea how many weak thoughts he had every single day. Hundreds, every hour. I can't speak up in this meeting. Stop. I have valuable ideas worth sharing. He spoke up. I'm not qualified for that project. Stop. I can learn what I need. Starting a business is too risky. Stop. Staying stuck is riskier. He researched business licensing. Each replacement felt awkward, fake, like he was lying to himself. But he kept going. By week 2, something strange happened. The strong thoughts started coming faster. The weak thoughts started losing power. Marcus signed up for an online business strategy course he'd been not ready for 3 years. He reached out to 2 former clients about potential consulting opportunities. He started actually writing his business plan, not perfectly, but actually writing it. His coworkers noticed. Marcus, you seem different. More confident. He was, because his roots were going deeper. Week 7, reality tested him. His wife's car broke down. $2,000 in repairs. The exact amount he'd saved to start his business. Old Marcus would have thought, see, the universe is telling me not to start. It's a sign. New Marcus thought, this is a test. I can fix the car and keep building. I'll adjust my timeline, not my dream. He fixed the car. He kept working. He refused to let circumstances dictate his thinking. By day 90, Marcus had completed his online course, created a detailed business plan, built a simple website. More importantly, he had retrained his default thinking pattern. When challenges appeared, his first thought was no longer "I can't," it was "How can I?" On day 90, Marcus walked into Robert's coffee shop. Robert smiled. "I can see it in your eyes. Your roots went deep, didn't they?" Marcus pulled out a folder. "I haven't quit my job yet, but I have a complete business plan. I've reached out to 5 potential clients. 2 are interested. And most importantly, I have a completely different mind than I had 90 days ago." "That's the real transformation," Robert said. "The business will follow, but the mindset had to come first. Because strong thinking creates strong action, always." Marcus paused. "Why did you really help me?" Robert's eyes grew distant. "My son, he was stuck like you. Full of talent, full of fear. I was too busy building my company to notice. By the time I tried to help him change his thinking, he'd already given up on himself. He's 50 now, still in the same job he hated at 25. His voice softened. "I can't change his story, but I can help people like you write a different ending. That's why I sold my company. That's why I'm here." Marcus felt tears forming. "Thank you. You saved my life." "No," Robert said gently. "You saved your own life. I just showed you where to dig for the roots." 6 months after that first conversation, Marcus landed his first paying client. A small manufacturing company that needed operations consulting. $1,500 for a 2-week analysis. It wasn't a fortune, but it proved something more valuable than money. His ideas had value. His experience mattered. He could do this. 1 year later, Marcus had 5 clients, all referrals. He was still working his day job, but now he worked his consulting business every evening and weekend. His wife noticed the biggest change wasn't his bank account. It was his eyes. "You walk differently now," she told him one evening. "Like you believe in yourself." "I do," Marcus said. "Because I changed what I believe about myself." 18 months after that first coffee shop conversation, Marcus gave his notice. Daniel, his former subordinate turned boss, asked him, "Why now?" "You're doing well here." Marcus smiled. "Because I spent 12 years thinking small. I'm done with that. I'm building something of my own now." Daniel respected that. "Good luck, Marcus. I learned a lot from you." "And I learned the most important lesson from someone else," Marcus replied. "That everything changes when you change your mind. Listen to me." Marcus's story proves something most people never understand. Your life is not controlled by circumstances. It's controlled by how you think about circumstances. Right now you have thoughts running through your mind. And those thoughts are either building your future or destroying it. Weak thinking sounds like "I'm not good enough. It's too late for me. I don't have what it takes. Success is for other people." And those thoughts create weak actions, hesitation, procrastination, playing small, staying safe. Strong thinking sounds like "I can learn what I need. I'll start where I am. I have unique value to offer. My time is now." And those thoughts create strong actions, decision, movement, growth, transformation. Here's the truth Robert taught Marcus, and I'm teaching you. Your external world is always a perfect mirror of your internal thinking. If your life feels small, check your thoughts. If your life feels limited, check your thoughts. Because you cannot outperform your self-image. You cannot achieve beyond what you believe you deserve. You cannot create externally what you haven't built internally. So here's your 90-day challenge. Step 1. For the next 24 hours, just notice your thoughts. Don't change them yet. Just become aware of how many times you think weak, limiting, fearful thoughts. Write them down. You'll be shocked. Step 2. Starting tomorrow, every time you catch a weak thought, stop. Say it out loud. That's weak thinking. Then replace it with a strong thought out loud. Then take one small action based on the strong thought. Step 3. Repeat this every single day for 90 days. No exceptions. No, I'll start Monday. No, just today I'll skip 90 days of mental discipline. I promise you, if you do this with commitment, your life 90 days from now will not look the same. Not because circumstances magically changed, because you changed. Your thinking changed, and when your thinking changes, everything changes. Marcus was stuck in middle management for 12 years, with big dreams and small thoughts. In 90 days, he built a business foundation, gained confidence, and most importantly, rebuilt his mind. You're watching this video, which means you have awareness. You have access to knowledge. You have the ability to change. The question is, will you use it? Or will you keep thinking the same weak thoughts and wondering why your life doesn't change? If you're ready to rebuild your mind, prove it right now. I'll be in the comments checking who's serious. Share this video with someone who's stuck, not because they lack talent, but because they've been thinking small. Remember Marcus's lesson: weak thinking creates weak roots. Weak roots create weak lives. Strong thinking creates strong roots. Strong roots create extraordinary lives. Your thoughts today are building your life tomorrow. Choose them wisely. The mirror is waiting. What will it reflect?